Hey everyone, so you're here because you're probably a bit confused trying to decide between these two iPhones. You're scrolling through marketplaces, looking at store pages, and you're stuck between these two. The iPhone 15 Pro from last year and the brand new iPhone 16. Especially now, here in mid-2025, the prices are getting really interesting. You can get a used 15 Pro for a pretty good deal, but the 16 is, well, it's the new one. It can be a really confusing choice. So in this video, I'm hoping to clear things up a bit. We're gonna talk about the stuff you actually care about. We'll go through the design and that screen difference, the performance in the real world, the cameras, battery life, and of course, the price. By the end, I'll tell you which one I'd personally pick if I had to choose just one. Alright, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about how these phones actually look and feel in your hand. Okay, so first we have the iPhone 15 Pro, and honestly, this natural titanium finish, it still feels incredible. There's this brushed texture that just feels, I don't know, really solid and premium. It's a bit more resistant to fingerprints than the shiny stainless steel we used to have, which I really appreciate. It's just a comfortable, dense feeling phone. Then you have the iPhone 16. It's got this really nice pink color, and it uses an aluminum frame. It feels great, don't get me wrong, and it's actually a little bit lighter than the 15 Pro, which you can definitely notice when you hold them both. But you know, it just doesn't have that same premium vibe as the titanium. But see, this is where things get really different. The screen. The iPhone 15 Pro has Apple's ProMotion display. That means it runs at 120 Hz. The new iPhone 16 is still 60 Hz. And I know on paper it's just a number, but in my day-to-day, this is probably the biggest single difference between them. See, when I'm scrolling through social media or just swiping around the home screen on the 15 Pro, everything is just buttery smooth. It's so fluid. When you go back to the 60 Hz on the 16, it's not bad, but you notice it. It feels just a little bit choppier. For me, once you get used to 120 Hz, it's really hard to go back. So that's a huge point for the 15 Pro, even though it's the older phone. My iPhone 15 Pro here has the A17 Pro chip. I ran a Geekbench 6 test on it, and I got a single core score of around 2707 and a multi-core of 68065. For a phone that's almost 2 years old, that is still incredibly fast. Now, the iPhone 16 has the new 18 chip, and on this one, I got a single core of 32116 and a multi-core of 8058. So yeah, the iPhone 16 is technically more powerful. But here's the thing. For everyday stuff, like texting, watching videos, browsing, even playing most games, you are not gonna notice a difference. Both of these phones are ridiculously fast. I'm running the latest iOS 26 beta on both of them, and the experience has been super smooth on both. The A17 Pro is still a flagship level chip, so unless you're pushing your phone to the absolute max with intense video editing or something, performance is not a reason to pick the 16 over the 15 Pro. They're both fantastic. Okay, now let's flip them over and talk about the cameras, because this is a story of versatility versus new tricks. The iPhone 15 Pro gives you a true pro level system. You have your main wide lens, an ultra wide, and a 3x optical telephoto lens. This is the key. When you want to zoom in on something far away, this lens gives you a clean, sharp optical zoom. No digital cropping. It makes a huge difference for getting those portrait shots or just capturing details from a distance. But the pro part doesn't just stop with the lenses. See, this phone also supports shooting in ProRes for photos and ProRes for video. And if you're into photography or videography, this is a big deal. ProRes is like a digital negative for your photos. It captures way more information, giving you so much more flexibility when you're editing. And ProRes is a professional video format that's fantastic for serious color grading. And this is where the faster USB-C port on the 15 Pro comes in. These files, especially ProRes video, are massive. Because the 15 Pro has a fast USB 3 port, you can actually plug an external SSD directly into the phone and record 4K video straight onto the drive. For anyone who needs to edit in a professional way, that is a game changer. Now, the iPhone 16 has a fantastic 2-camera system. It's got a 48 megapixel main sensor, just like the 15 Pro, and an ultra wide. The main camera is excellent, the photos are sharp, the colors are great, but it doesn't have that third telephoto lens. It can do a 2x zoom by cropping in on the main sensor, and it looks pretty good, but it's not the same as a real optical zoom. And its USB-C port is limited to slower USB 2 speeds, so you don't get those pro features like direct to SSD recording. However, the 16 has two new hardware tricks. It has the action button, which the 15 Pro also has, but it also has this new little button on the side called the camera control button. It's meant to make it feel more like a real camera. My experience with it has been a bit mixed. It's really nice for quickly jumping into the camera app, but sometimes I trigger it by accident. It's a cool idea, but maybe not a system seller for me personally. The 16 can also shoot spatial video for the Apple Vision Pro. It's a neat feature if you have one, but for most of us, it's probably not something you'll use every day. So if you want the most versatile and powerful camera system that can handle any shot, especially for serious photo or video work, the iPhone 15 Pro is the clear winner here. Alright, this next one is super important and it's a pretty easy win for one of these phones. Battery life. My iPhone 15 Pro here is at 87% battery health with almost 400 charge cycles. On a normal day, it gets me through, but I'm definitely looking for a charger by the evening around 8 or 9 p.m. It's okay, but not amazing. The iPhone 16, on the other hand, is a beast. It has a physically larger battery inside, a more efficient chip, and a 60Hz screen that uses less power. This phone is an all-day and then some device. My battery health is at 100% with only 36 cycles, and I can easily end the day with 30% or even 40% left. So yeah, if your number one priority is making it through the entire day without even thinking about your battery, the iPhone 16 is without a doubt the one to get. It's a huge improvement. Okay, so this is where it all comes together. The price, the iPhone 16 brand new, starts at $799. That's what you'd expect for the latest model. But the iPhone 15 Pro on the used or refurbished market right now in August 2025, you can find one in great condition for around $500 to $600. So you're looking at a potential savings of $200 or more. And for that lower price, you're getting a more premium titanium build, a much smoother 120Hz ProMotion display, and a more versatile camera system with a real telephoto lens. That is a really compelling deal. So, after all that, which one should you get? I think it breaks down like this. The iPhone 16 is for the person who wants peace of mind. You want a brand new device, you want the absolute best battery life you can get in a standard iPhone, and you want a simple, fantastic camera that just works. You don't care as much about the super smooth screen or optical zoom, you just want a reliable all-day phone. If that's you, you will be incredibly happy with the iPhone 16. But the iPhone 15 Pro is, in my opinion, for the person looking for the best overall value in 2025. For significantly less money, you're getting a more premium device with features that Apple still reserves for its Pro models, like the 120Hz display and the telephoto camera. The only real trade-off is the battery life, which is just okay instead of amazing. So, what's my personal choice? For my money, I'd go with the iPhone 15 Pro. That ProMotion display and the telephoto camera are features I use every single day. And to me, they're worth the trade-off in battery life. The fact that you can get that pro level experience for less than the price of a new standard iPhone is just an incredible deal. But honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. They are both amazing phones. So that's my take. I'd love to know what you think. Which one would you choose? Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, a like would be awesome and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.